The sky was already burning. Red, gold, violet. The Bifrost screamed. Not shimmered, not glowed. It screamed. A bridge made of light, cracking like bone under too much weight. Stars bent, hair split. Heimdall's eyes, those endless, sleepless eyes, locked onto one figure charging straight through the blaze. Thor. Hammer raised. Teeth bared. Thunder boiling in his lungs. "Stop," Heimdall warned. Thor didn't. The first step shattered a color. The second step sent a shock wave through the 9 realms. The third, the bridge, fractured, because the Bifrost was never meant for war, and Thor was war. He was the strongest god in Asgard, the hammer, the storm, the executioner of giants. So why was he forbidden from setting foot on the one path that connected every realm? Why would a king chain his greatest weapon? Why would a guardian point his spear at a god? And what did Thor do that made even Odin fear the sound of his footsteps? Tonight we cross the bridge he was banned from, and we find out why the thunder god became too dangerous, even for heaven.
Unveil the legends.
Before the ban, there was balance. Fragile, tense, false. Asgard glittered like a promise. Gold towers, endless feasts, laughter loud enough to drown out doubt. Peace in Asgard was always a performance. Odin wasn't just a king. He was obsessed with control. He hoarded knowledge, sacrificed his eye, hung himself from a tree. For secrets, not for wisdom, for leverage. He saw threats everywhere. Giants in Jotunheim, elves in Alfheim, even his own blood. And then there was Thor, not the noble hero carved into temple walls. Thor was impulsive, violent, hungry for glory. He didn't negotiate, he crushed. To Thor, the 9 realms were problems to be solved with lightning. To Odin, they were pieces on a board, and between them stood the Bifrost, the rainbow bridge, the artery of the cosmos, the only path between worlds. It wasn't just transportation, it was power. Whoever controlled the bridge controlled invasion, trade, war, surveillance, and guarding it was Heimdall, silent, loyal. Surveillance, and guarding it was Heimdall, silent, loyal, paranoid in his own way. He heard grass grow, blood pump, lies form. He heard something else too, a pattern. Every time Thor crossed the Bifrost, a realm burned. Every time Thor returned, something was broken. The clock was ticking, not toward peace, toward collapse. It began with an insult, small, surgical, deliberate. A frost giant slipped past Asgard's defenses and left a mark inside Odin's vault. Not theft, not destruction, a message. Thor saw humiliation. He saw weakness. Odin saw bait. "Stand down," the Allfather ordered. Thor didn't. Pride swelled in his chest like a storm cloud. He gathered Sif. The warriors 3, laughter masking recklessness. They marched to the Bifrost as if it were already decided. Heimdall watched them approach. He heard Thor's heartbeat, fast, eager. He heard something else too, anticipation. From Jotunheim, "Open the gate," Thor commanded. "It is." Forbiddens. Thor stepped closer. Lightning flickered across his skin. The air tasted metallic. "Open it." Heimdall hesitated. That hesitation would echo across realms. The bridge ignited. Colors roared to life. They crossed. Jotunheim welcomed them with silence. No roaring army, no ambush. Just wind scraping across frozen stone. Thor mistook restraint for fear. Then the giants emerged, not charging, waiting. The first clash split the tundra. Mjolnir crushed rib cages. Ice exploded into glittering shrapnel. The sound of bone breaking echoed like distant thunder. Thor laughed. He lived for resistance. But the giants weren't trying to win. They were pulling him deeper, forcing him to unleash more, to summon more lightning, to flood the battlefield with energy. Every strike from Mjolnir called thunder through the Bifrost's last coordinates. The bridge shimmered in the distance, reacting, straining. Thor didn't see it. He saw glory. When Odin finally intervened, tearing open space itself to drag his son home, the Bifrost convulsed as Thor crossed back through it. He carried the storm with him. The rainbow bridge buckled. Light flickered erratically. Flames burst between colors. Heimdall drove his blade into the platform to stabilize it, muscles trembling. Cracks spidered through the spectrum. Not visible to mortal eyes, but real. Thor stepped onto Asgardian soil, armor stained with frost giant blood, victorious. Behind him, the bridge groaned like a wounded animal. And for the first time, Odin looked at his son, not with pride, but calculation. Here's what most retellings ignore. The Bifrost isn't just a road. It's a regulator, a cosmic filter designed to control the flow between realms, energy, matter, intent. It was never meant to channel raw elemental fury, and Thor is nothing but raw elemental fury. Each time he crossed in battle rage, he wasn't just traveling. He was overloading the system. Think of it like this. The bridge converts cosmic energy into stable passage. Thor converts stability into chaos. The two were fundamentally incompatible. Odin knew the prophecies. He obsessed over them. Ragnarok wasn't a vague doom. It was detailed, precise. The Bifrost would shatter beneath invading forces. But prophecies don't always show the cause, only the result. What if Odin realized something terrifying? That the invading force wasn't just an army of fire giants. What if it was accumulated stress? Micro-fractures from years of violent crossings. Thor didn't need to destroy the bridge in one blow. He only needed to weaken it repeatedly. And here's the darker layer. The giants understood this. They didn't fear Thor's hammer. They weaponized it. Every insult, every trespass, every calculated provocation. They were studying him. Thor's psychology was simple. Attack his pride, and he would respond with excess. And excess meant more energy surging through the Bifrost, more strain, more cracks. Odin's ban wasn't humiliation. It was containment. He couldn't kill Thor. He couldn't cage him. But he could restrict his access to the one structure that amplified him, beyond reason, because that's what the bridge did. It magnified whatever crossed it. Diplomats carried treaties. Merchants carried goods. Thor carried storms. And storms don't pass quietly through fragile rainbows. The tragedy? Thor believed the ban was about trust. It wasn't. It was about physics, fate, pattern recognition. Odin saw his son not as a savior, but as an accelerating variable in an equation already pointing toward collapse. And nothing is more dangerous than a hero who doesn't realize he's part of the prophecy, not the victim of it, the catalyst. The ban didn't last forever. Nothing does in myth. Thor regained favor, fought battles, became legend. But the damage was done. At Ragnarok, the Bifrost finally shattered beneath the weight of invading forces. Fire giants marched. The rainbow cracked, just as foretold. Thor fought valiantly. Of course he did. He killed Jormungandr, the serpent that encircled the world. 10 steps. That's all he managed afterward. 10 steps before venom filled his lungs. The irony? Thor spent his life charging across a bridge to stop invasions. And in the end, the bridge broke anyway. Not because he was weak, because the cycle of force never ends with peace. It ends with collapse. The ban wasn't punishment. It was a warning, one he never truly understood. The Bifrost wasn't built for rage. It was built for connection, and Thor only knew how to connect through war. That's why this myth still matters, because the strongest person in the room often believes they are the solution. but sometimes they are the crack in the foundation. Thor wasn't banned because he lacked power. He was banned because he had too much of it. Uncontrolled strength doesn't protect the bridge. It burns it. So here's the question. If you were Odin, would you trust your most powerful weapon with the fate of the universe? Or would you lock him out? Tell me in the comments. Was Thor a hero or the beginning of Ragnarok? And if you think this story is dark, wait until you hear about the god who didn't break bridges. He broke trust itself. Because next we descend into the mind of Loki and the lie that doomed them all.